Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Jnana Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasya Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunaraitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha Vairagya Prakarana, Section 18, Lord Rama, as disciple, presents his inner thoughts relating to the transient nature of the world and, worse still, illusory nature of the world. Now presently the topic of body has been already explained to you. Some highlighted point. Naham dehasya no deho mam napyamahe tatha iti vishranta chittat ye te mune purushottama. They are Purushottama, the best of men, women included, who have realized, I'm not related to the body. I am not this body. This body is not mine. And rid of this body illusion, who finds perfect rest in an enlightened mind. So therefore, Rama's question is how to attain that enlightened state. This demoness of ignorance has deluded human understanding. In other words, people understand so many things. When things don't exist, they begin to understand them. Snake on the rope. This is a matter of great regret. This body, like a leaf, falls like water particles in a waterfall, hastens to death. Those who have placed trust in lightning flashes, wintry clouds, and castles in the air, they may continue to believe in this body that is momentary. Taditsu Sharadabreshu Gandharva Nagareshu cha Sthairye Yena Vinirnitam Swa Vishwasitu Vigrahe. That's the Sanskrit behind it. You cannot place trust in lightning flashes. You cannot shut out all your electricity with the idea that lightning will go on giving you the needed light. Or in wintry clouds, and worse still, castles in the air. The mind creates imagination. All this you may believe, but the idea that you are going to live in this body forever, that's absolutely impossible. And even at this very moment, the idea you are living in the body is a big illusion. Your thoughts are wandering all over the world. Your feelings are everywhere. So how are you? Are you in the body? If you view the body as Panjabhutas, the five ghosts. Animals, I'm joking. The subtle message, which will be further elaborated in Yoga Vasistha, is having human embodiment is an act of profound grace and blessing. Because in human embodiment, you can allow your intellect to become subtle. You can remove malas, gross impurities, by karma yoga. You can remove vikshepa, distractions of mind, by devotion and meditation. You can remove the veil of ignorance by tattva jnana, knowledge of the self. All that is possible in the human embodiment. So don't wait until you get dear embodiment. No matter how dear you look, that doesn't make you successful. So the main purpose of this whole, to live in such a way, utilize your human embodiment. And if you have been successful as a human being, then what is the characteristic of success? You say goodbye to embodiment, never to be born again. If you are in that state, you have attained success. But if you have not reached that, you are tumbling into another embodiment. Then think of how many things you have gone through in this life. All that are waiting for you, the same tea, the same coffee, same breaking news. They're waiting for you. Now, turn your attention to childhood stage, being a baby. Isn't that wonderful? How cute. Cute for whom? For people around. For the baby, try to understand the psychology, the mind, the struggle, all that the baby has to endure. Sri Rama said, O sage, it is a great blessing to be born as a human being in a world where there are four classes of jivas. Jara Yuja, born of embryos, that means human beings and mammals. Andaja, born of eggs. All those who fly, they are born of eggs. Svedaja, born of sweat. Not just your sweat, it's humidity. Any type of humidity creates a lot of bacteria and viruses and so many things. And Udbhija. Udbhija means all born of the earth. Take any portion of the earth and soon you will find something coming up out of it. It never goes bare. It is never meaningless. Something goes on with it. Earth, meaningful, the earth, meaningless. Sanskrit words have great facility. Now, having entered into human embodiment, how do you enter? You are born, and I will not dramatize all the details. Stay in mother's body for so many months. And what happens to you? I'm not going to go after. And when you are born, you cry. Even taking breaths becomes a great task. But that's not all. While you cry, all people rejoice. Congratulations. Baby has been born. Childhood stage is characterized by ashakti, means inability to do things. So many interesting things are around you. Even there is a yogi bear, but if you are too much of a baby, you can't even reach out to get that. You look up to somebody else, please help me. But not with that language, you see. Next, apattis. Apatti is certain little accidents. You get hit by your own hand. And a great eagerness to have something in the mouth. Tongue comes out, looking for something. And big difficulty. You can look into the eyes of the mother, but can't say what you have to want to say. And we expect your mother to understand it. She doesn't understand, you kick her. And eagerness to have some amusing play called krida. Just like little puppies want to just jump around. For what? Who does not care? Babies also want to do something, not stay in boredom like older people. And they have tremendous curiosity. Sometimes they want to get something, which they don't know what they want. And because you have not given the baby what it wants, baby feels so miserable. It looks at you with such wonder. What type of mother is that? Who doesn't know what I want? While all this is being told, you must realize the baby state is very sensitive state. And mother's duty or parent's duty is to allow the subconscious of the baby to be charged with the spiritual vibrations. Therefore, the scripture gives you Madalasa, cradles her baby. Shuddhosi, buddhosi, niranjanosi. Oh baby, you are absolutely pure. You are enlightened. You are spotless. Baby doesn't care all that. Swing the cradle. But swinging the cradle, you're saying it, you are raising your own level of understanding, and subtle vibrations enter the baby's mind. That type of education is a profound secret. Samskara-based education. And that's modern educational system lacks. Another point, knowing that babies are souls. advanced state of culture requires that parents should develop that profound feeling that they are handling divine being, divine spirit. Put it in simpler way. See Krishna in your baby, Radha in your baby, see Rama in your baby. Ram Leela, Krishna Leela is right in your going on in your home. That doesn't mean that you do not allow the baby to grow. You teach the baby everything needed. And when needed, some scolding is also done. Coming back to, if you leave your babyhood without deeper insight, then see how does it look. That's what Rama is portraying, baby state. Just like an elephant that has been trapped and kept in bondage, and the elephant suffers. The spirit within the baby is like trapped. Baby becomes angry for no reason and cries miserably just to exercise the gums. And feels extremely humiliated because he has no idea, have I pleased my mummy or not? Therefore, don't be fascinated with the idea that soon you are going to get into a baby state. I'm joking. Soon implies, may you live long, but then, even if you live for 100 years, but you're not enlightened, what you're waiting for, coming back into the baby state. No one is born youthful. And as the baby begins to grow, just like 3-year-old, 4-year-old, the mind is filled with helpless thoughts. So many things baby would have had, but sits sunk in anxiety. How can I get them? Mommy is looking at me. Father is looking at me. All the chocolates are there. I'm adding to it to make it easy. In baby state, soul is just like any bird or animal. Baby is sometimes unable to distinguish between shadow and reality. And therefore, lots of toys are presented to the baby, and baby takes those toys as real. Here is a pussycat for you. And baby catches the nose of the cat. And mechanically a tongue comes out. The baby feels a sense of great fulfillment. And the baby is always at risk due to water, fire, air. Of course, all human beings are at risk, but in baby state, the risk is utmost. The baby doesn't know. If suddenly it goes into the water, if there is a pool, the baby will just jump into it. Many accidents have taken place. fire. Baby wants to get something from the old style stove. And while getting it, his scarf goes into the fire. And baby puts herself into big trouble. And parents have to be always concerned. Where is the baby? What is the baby doing? And you can tell babies a lot of stories of birds and animals, how they talk about. And baby doesn't find it anything wrong about it. The fox talks, dog and cat and all that, and they come together. To the baby, it is not a fable, it's the reality. To grown-ups, it is a fable with a moral, but not to a baby. When a baby sees cartoon pictures, it takes it absolutely real. Takes real pictures, doesn't like it. And again, baby goes through periods of discipline given by mother, father. Baby has put all the mud around, and mother, in spite of all her love and baby crying, "Don't handle me badly," puts the baby into the tub. And baby grows, and the father goes on teaching mathematics. 2 by 3 is 6. Babies, why not 7? And then there comes a time of temper. Told you again and again, making a mistake. And sometimes slapping. Instead of remembering the mathematics, baby remembers the slap. In baby state, all the impurities exist hidden, just like owls hide in holes. So all these impurities exist in the subconscious, but they exist, what yoga calls it, in prasupta state, dormant state. So while the appearance of a baby's mind is very profound, be childlike. That gives you a great inspiration and to be pursued, to be followed, how to be childlike, but not childish. If you could bring about baby state by purifying your vasanas, live in the world without worry, anxiety, and it's like a baby sees everything with curiosity and joy. That is a state of enlightenment. So one has to make a big difference between being childish and being childlike. Being Buddha or a Buddhu. Sanskrit. Buddha, enlightened. Buddhu, simpleton. But anyone who feels that, how wonderful, I should be in baby state. Babies don't have to worry about earning money, doing this, doing that, no problems. How wonderful to be babies. Everybody loves and how cute. Rama says, These are Dalvit people who develop that idea. Dhikkar. Angrezi term is fari. Sanskrit term dhikkar. Dhi means buddhi, intellect. You are hammering on the intellect. What type of intellect do you have? Improve it. Get out of this muddy intellect. Clear it. Dhikkar. So even Sanskrit words, even there, scolding stage, have certain message. Restless mind, fickle mind, people talk about it. But all that you imagine about fickle mind, the mind of a baby is 10 times great. Excels all your imagination. And therefore, baby has to go through a lot of suffering. Greater the fickleness of the mind, greater is suffering. You are not restful. Fickleness of the mind of a baby can be compared to electrical flashes or waves in the ocean, of fluttering flames. Childhood stage and mind, they are twins. Try to understand it. Allegorical literature. Mind in itself remains a baby type if you don't culture it. It's always runs around without your control. So in another way, speaking allegorically, mind is like a baby. So if you have a baby and you have a mind, these are twin brothers. Just to remind you that vasanas exist in different stages. Subtle desires hold the capital, the treasury of all your experiences of pleasure and pain. In childhood, vasanas exist in prasupta state, dormant state. In other words, all the anger is there, hate is there, egoism is there, perverted desires, greed, all is there, but they are all dormant, like seeds that are just buried. If you allow yourself to discipline in a restricted environment, like ashrams or things of that nature, over some period of discipline, you may attain Tanu Manasi state. Tanu Manasi means attenuated state. The same anger, greed, etc. are there. They don't dominate your mind. They are just like sprouts. They stay sprouts. And better still, the illustration is like frozen snakes. You put snakes in a refrigerator, now they act like ropes. And then you can put the rope around your neck and say, I've controlled, I'm Shiva. But wait, that snake is going to bite you. Next state of vasana is called vichinna avastha. Vichinna means people learn to handle the vasanas according to their intellect. Just like you invite many people in your house and you don't have time to sweep every dust out, then what you do? Hide them under the rug. So, in daily life, so much of anger and hate, negative feelings, they are hidden. Majority of people consider this a kind of a cultured state. But from spiritual point of view, it is a kind of, it's a sick state. You are sick, but you don't know it. And the next state is called Udara state. Udara means generous. Doesn't hide. If you are angry, the nose shows it, ear shows it, the eyes show it, your hands show it, your whole body shows it. Generous. No hiding. With another characteristic, if somebody says, have you not read anger is bad for you? Even from health point of view. So how dare you say I'm angry? Her hand is like that. This person says, no, you're not angry at all. You are shiny with righteous wrath. Now, the ideal state to reach is Dagdhavastha. Dagdhavastha, when through enlightenment, Vasanas, all subtle impressions that are based on ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death, all those subtle impressions are completely wiped out. Wiped out, again, another way, allegorical to understand, all those sentiments are there, but they are not going to produce or create bondage for you. They will simply sustain your practical life. Where anger is needed, you will show your anger. And little ripples of agitation will appear in your personality. But they are not going to create karmas, because all those happen in harmony with your goodwill to all. Just like a mother shows all types of sentiments to a baby, but overpowering feeling behind it is love for the baby. A baby and a puppy, very little difference. Just show something interesting to a puppy, goes after it. So is baby. Rather, if you put baby and puppy together, they feel they are twins. And the baby sees the puppy enjoying in a garbage. Baby says, I will do also. And both are subject to a sensitive reaction to your attitudes towards. In other words, you want to control your baby or even puppy. You should say, don't do that. Or you may have your own methods. And a baby acts exactly like a puppy would act. And likewise, you are petting them, come, inviting them for something. Show a wonderful couch, come, sit yourself there. And in general, babies, their faces have always wet with some tears coming from the eyes, and hands and mouth, some little mud. That baby is quite normal for that. When a baby is unable to fulfill its desire, something the baby wanted, and the mummy won't give it. Baby looks at the eyes of the mummy. Can't understand how wonderful those eyes are. But she holds a dagger, pinches into the heart of the baby. The sufferings the baby have to go through, you can't imagine. Just as in summer season, hot weather, a whole forest goes through terrible suffering because of intense heat. In the same way, the heart of a baby goes through a lot of sufferings. Now, when a baby is introduced, as the child grows and goes into school, beginning stages is just like you have tied up a pet that has been free, a rabbit. You have grabbed it and tied it to a place. Similarly, baby feels that its freedom has been taken away. You're tied to a school, kindergarten. And this terrible fear, because the old style teaching was with canes, scoldings and slaps, and twisting the ears. Baby asks the question, but holds his hand on his ear. Baby has no discrimination between what is real or unreal. You can tell a baby, look at the branch. It's swinging. Do you see there is a strange creature with two horns? It's right there. Baby, yes, oh, I see it. And sometimes the mother plays tricks with the baby, and baby is crying too much. Mother says to the baby, what do you want, my baby? I will give you anything in this whole world. Look at the moon. Do you like it? Baby says, oh yes, mommy. I will give you. She's in a plate of water, little plate, water in the plate, and moon is shining. The baby says, oh, mother, it is the moon. Puts his hand into it, smashes on the face. Very happy the moon has come. You must also understand that while we are describing the baby, there is a baby aspect in all people. Due to ignorance, people don't know where is happiness. And whatever you think is giving you happiness is like the moon shining in a vessel, an illusion. You think you have got it, but you haven't got it. Think you got your happiness, but your happiness far away. There is no difference between a baby and a tree. Tree grows, it's completely in the hands of a gardener. It's thirsty but can't say anything about it. Gardener has to find the time to water the tree and so forth. Or babies are like birds. Babies have so much sufferings at the hands of their parents, their teachers, people around. And I'm not just talking about babies who have grown up as children. So Rama says, never get into the risk of being a baby again. On the other hand, turn into a baby. Shishuvat. Understand the whole world cannot affect you. Bring that baby-like simplicity. A baby is being given higher type of impression by singing Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi. You are pure, you are taintless. Now come to that stage of not this cradle stage. Realize it. So the baby stage is teaching you that lesson. Come to that state of babyhood. If you come, then you are enlightened. Means you become so simple, joyous. Integrated personality becomes very relaxed, talking from a deeper point of view. Childlike, nothing, child doesn't worry about it. Because the mind doesn't have the capacity to go after all things. But enlightened one has allowed his mind to come to an advanced state to understand that all this is illusion. All the realities of the world are like illuminations of the sun. They are not the sun. Sun is the reality behind. But the illuminations will come and go. So don't stay in that level of gaining it, losing it, gaining it, losing it. But go into that level. I am not the body, not the mind. I am the sun. When you come to that state, now you are enjoying real childhood state. Spiritual child. No longer wild. And with this I will conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.